everybody! I'm not dead! And I'm also not alone.
Hi.
Yeah, the past few months I haven't really felt like filming, so it is what it is.
It's okay.
Whatever. For those of you who don't know, who have not been on my channel for a long time, or don't know about the Quarterly Crit Club or whatever, this is Sylla.
Hello.
And Sylla has spent the past few days here in Vienna with me, and what have we done?
We have been reading.
We have been reading.
That's pretty much the only thing we've done.
That's not true. We have, aside from reading, we have gone grocery shopping.
I like that you count that as an activity.
It's an activity. It counts. We have spent like 4 hours, 5 hours almost,
Yeah, I think so.
playing Call of Cthulhu.
That's true. It was very fun.
And
I got to die. It was great.
And we went to the museum. So
we did.
we did a lot of things, actually. But also, we spent a lot of time reading. And we thought we'd take this also as motivation for me to finally upload a video again, because why not? And so we're going to share what we finished in the past 3 days, the books we finished. Spoiler alert, there will be a vast difference in the amount of books that we have read. And also the pages. I think I ended up, like, I looked it up, in total, these past few days I read 1,300 pages. Just go ahead and start.
Alright, you know what? Since you said 3 books, I'm just gonna go with one that is an actual trilogy, because one of the reasons I've read this amount of books is because Sarah has a lot of great books that I haven't read yet, and I didn't want to come home with like 20 books in my suitcase because I don't have space. So I tried to read a lot of the shorter ones while I was here, so they're not all going home with me. And to start off, we have a trilogy of novellas, these lovely babies. I'm just gonna hold up the first one, I think.
The Forever Desert
It's
trilogy.
the Forever Desert trilogy by Moses Ose Utomi, starting with The Lies of the Ujungo, and then we have The Truth of the Aleki, and The Memory of the Ogisi. They're all set in the same place, which is the Forever Desert, but all 3 books follow different characters, and also through different, I would say, time frames of existing in the Forever Desert. There is a... This is... The Lies of the Ujungo is the first one, both in the series as well as timeline-wise. Technically speaking, I think you can start kind of wherever, and it would probably form your opinion kind of differently. One of the underlying themes of this, I would say, is like government corruption, governments telling you what the truth should be, and how storytelling can aid in, I would say, propaganda.
Yeah,
I think that's... It's a very good series. I gave the first one 5 stars, and I think the other 2 4.5, because I just really loved the narration of the first one, and I thought the other 2 were good, really good,
Yep.
but didn't come as close to the first one.
It's one of those trilogies where I think, fairly similarly, I think I still might have given the second book 5 stars. But it's one of those trilogies where you could very well give all of them 5 stars. However, the first one is so good and so on a different level 5 star that it then feels wrong to give the other 2 also 5 stars.
It's like in relation, if I'd read these completely apart and maybe didn't know they were part of a series, I might have given everything 5 stars, but like in relation, Lies of the Ujungo is just that good.
Yeah, it's just really good.
Highly recommend from both of us in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah. So I'm also gonna start with a book that actually isn't one of my books. It's one of Sylla's books.
Yeah.
I gave Sylla, I told Sylla a bunch of books that she should take with her to my place, and then I was like, what if I take the chance and send some of those books back with her again, also because I'm moving and that way I have to move less books.
It's like a shopping list, but you don't pay, except one of us pays a train ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Which, by the way, there is gonna be a whole video on Sylla's channel also, which I guess is like a borrow haul type thing of like which books has she stolen from me, and which books has she brought me until we next see each other in a few years.
We'll make it work, don't worry.
It has worked 2 times before, it's gonna work a 3rd time.
Exactly.
But one of the books was The House of Hunger by Dambusto Malechera.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Which the House of Hunger actually is one of the it's a short story novella collection named after one of the short stories, which is the House of Hunger. This is a Zimbabwean author, so this was also another pick for my Read Around the World challenge, which, since I haven't updated on this in a while, I've been doing really well so far this year. I think I have more, like I have 5 books and we have 4 months this year so far, like 3 and a bit, but like, you know, I already have my book for April right by this. I overall enjoyed it. I found it interesting. I gave it 3.5 stars, I think, because ultimately, especially in the House of Hunger short story, just the misogyny got a little bit too much for me to fully enjoy it. Because there's just the way women are talked about is like not great. It's a lot. Otherwise, generally with the writing style and everything, I did really enjoy it. Or I enjoyed it, I should say, not really, because I gave it 3.5 stars. And especially one of the, like, some of the shorter short stories that were like between 5 and 10 pages in the second half of this collection, I did really enjoy. But yeah, so that was one of the books that's going back with Sylla.
Yes,
again.
It shall return to me.
Yes.
Also, first of all, anyone who still needs to read Zimbabwe for Read Around the World, this is a good pick. Second of all, there's also a really interesting author interview at the start that I find really cool, because it talks a lot about like how language aids in colonization and like the difficult story that writers have when it comes to revolutions and how they're treated by revolutions. So that's a really nice tidbit to the book, I think. I'm gonna do 3 that are also possible for Read Around the World, though I only logged 2 of them because I had read 1 already. So the
one country,
we should say, yes, not the book itself. So the first one, which was a new country for me, was Redemption in Indigo by Karen Lode. This is for Barbados, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is a speculative magical realism, fabulism type story, and I really, really liked this one. This is Karen Lode's debut novel, actually, and it's all about this woman, Pama, whose husband is a glutton, to put it lightly, and through some magical way or another, she actually gets hold of the chaos stick, which, as the title suggests, is there to generate chaos from the, I think, Jumbi is what they're called. They're like spirits-esque, spirits to gods. It's never fully explained what they are, and I'm sure if I did more research into Barbadian or Senegalese, I think,
I think
mythology,
it's just, you know, generally Western African also.
They're like immortals.
Yeah, you know.
They're immortals. And she gets hold of this chaos stick from one of the Jumbi, and said Jumbi is now trying to get it back, and they kind of make a whole travel line of like, you know, how humans can change, how humans can be changed or cannot be changed. I loved the narrating style of this because it feels like someone is actually telling the story to you. There's a lot of very like fun little jibes about something, and especially in the end, the narrator is directly addressing the reader, essentially going, if you didn't like so-and-so character or so-and-so aspect of the story, maybe consider rereading. And I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed this, and I hope that Karen Lode writes more, because I want to read more.
I haven't researched
I'll have to see. But yes, this is for Barbados. The other one that I also got to count is La Bastarda by Trifonia Melibea Obono. This is a very short novel for, what was it, Equatorial Guinea, I think it was
Equatorial Guinea, yes.
So this, if I remember correctly, is one of the first female authors from Equatorial Guinea to ever be translated, which is really fucking cool. And this is all about a young orphan child named Okomo, who lives with her grandparents, doesn't really know who her father is, her mother is dead, and she's also a lesbian. And there's a lot of talk about like, how do you fit into society, what does society demand of you, and how do you escape said society, how do you get free of the expectations that people throw at you. I really liked it. It is very short. It has a very juvenile voice because I do believe Okomo is like 17 or something. She is very young. But I really liked this, and I'm really happy to have read something from Equatorial Guinea for the challenge. And the third one on my pile right now is the one from the country I have read before, which is Brazil. And the book, or rather, I think novella is probably the best word,
is it even a novella? It's like 50 pages.
It's tiny. It is The Obscene Madame D by Hilda Hilst. There we go. This was really weird and really cool. It's basically like a stream of consciousness, internal monologue, but also maybe there's a dialogue, but also you never know if there's actually two people talking to each other or if the main character is just talking to herself. It's really wild. The general setting is of a woman who holds herself up under the stairs of, I think, her house or her apartment after her husband or lover has died. And the coming dialogue that is rendered as a monologue that might or might not be a monologue is between her and her husband and also her father. Died. Yeah, and then her father is involved at some point, and there are also other people from the house that like talk about her and how she likes pigs. It was very strange and I really liked it.
It's really well written.
Yes, it's like
really as someone, I hate stream of conscience. I don't like it. It does not fit with the way, like with my style of reading. This one I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it's honestly, it is really not that long. Like it's like 50, 57, 60 pages or something. Yeah. There's like a little bit of an introduction, which I thought was really cool about Hilda Hilst herself, because I didn't know about her previously. This is the first time I've interacted with her. Apparently
but she seems to be like a really well-known Brazilian author.
And like rather prolific as well in her writing, but you know. So this was really cool, and it is a very fast read, so I recommend it a lot, actually.
So let's continue on with some lesbians.
Yes, we love lesbians.
I read The Brides by, sorry, Charlotte Cross. I feel like I almost hit you with the book.
It's okay.
This was another one that Sylla brought me, and this is essentially a Dracula retelling told in 2 timelines, and also it's an epistolary novel, so it's entirely written in journal entries and letters, although I will say, I have commented that multiple times, the journal entries are like journal entries in the loose sense that at the beginning of the journal entry it says the date and from which journal it is, but I don't feel like the style is very journal-esque, even stylized journal entry, so you know, take it with a grain of salt of like epistolary. But this is essentially a retelling of Dracula in 2 timelines. One is the timeline of essentially 4 young women who are friends and family. That's all I will say. Because it says more in the back of the book, but like most of what happens in the back of the book and what I would say now or continue on saying now is like happens halfway through the book or later. But you know, there's 4 women who are connected through as friends or through family, 2 of which are lovers, and you kind of get stuff that's unfolding through letters that these women write to each other and journal entries that they write. The second, what's it?
Timeline?
Chronic, yeah, timeline. My brain went to Latin for some reason. The second timeline that we have is the POV of one of the men, actually, from Dracula. Yes. So John whatever, Seward. Not John Harker, Seward. And he is still now a psychologist, essentially a doctor, and he starts new at an asylum and gets a patient, and this patient has started eating bugs, ants, essentially, and he tries to find out what started that, and through that he reads the letters and journal entries, which, spoiler alert, are the letters and journal entries of all those women, and he tries to find out what happened to her, and also how all of that might be connected to, you know, the whole ordeal with Dracula, because spoiler alert, Dracula does appear at some point in this book. I'm sure you're all gonna think I just like spoiled the crazy thing, but yeah, he does in fact appear here. Yeah. So yeah, but I give it 4.25 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was a really fast read also. And yeah, so that was the second book. Actually, yeah, it was the second book actually that I finished.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Because the House of Hunger was the third one.
Okay, so the next two are the last Sarah books I've read at her place.
Yes.
So these do not belong to me. And that would be, first of all, Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. This is my second time reading the author. The first time was Bloom.
Yeah.
That's what it's called? Yeah. And this one is a fun murder romp. It's a gory murder fest, and that's pretty much it. So
it's a slasher.
Yeah, the story is, as with a lot of slashers, is relatively minimal, but essentially we have Des Lane, who is a, as it says on the back here, thrift fashionista, and she really wants to work at a fashion magazine. She really wants to pursue fashion as not just her passion, but also her job, and in order to do so, she will do just about anything, including but not limited to dating a man who she thinks is rather insipid, and that's a nice word to put here, because his mother is the head of a really important and big like fashion magazine, and at some point she gets invited to a private island, capital I, no other name, which is suspicious to say the least, because there's like I think it's Easter. It's during like the Easter holidays.
So actually you read it at the perfect time.
Yeah, you know what? That's true.
Because as we're filming this right now, it is Easter Monday.
Yeah, that is, honestly, that's perfect. That's, I didn't even connect the dots there because I was having so much fun. And then once she is on this island, she needs to sign this massive NDA that basically just says whatever happens on this island stays on this island, which, suspicious, once again. And after that, shit hits the fan, quite literally. It was a lot of fun. It was very bloody. There's a lot of incredibly over-the-top murders, which are just perfect for the atmosphere in this
Also,
book,
the vibes
honestly.
of this are eat the rich.
Yeah, pretty much. Eat the rich. Do whatever you want with the rich, as you should.
Well,
it's a lot
not
of fun.
eat the rich, like, literally, which I need to say because Bloom did include cannibalism.
It did.
This one is not literally eat the rich. I was a little bit disappointed by that, but, you know.
It would have been fun. But we accept. We accept. So this is for fun slashers when you just want the rich to suffer, like a little, like a tiny bit of a like repercussion vibe.
Yeah.
You know, like they deserve what's coming for them is all I'm saying. This was a lot of fun. And the other one that I still read from your collection is Brighter Than Scale, Swifter Than Flame by Neon Yang. This is, I think, Yang's newest publication, I believe. This is a novella racking in at around 160 pages, so you can decide if you think that this is a novella or just a really short book. I don't care either way. We follow a dragon hunter whose name was Yenya, I believe. Was it? Yeva. I was close. Her name is Yeva, and she's a masked dragon hunter, and on her pursuits of, well, dragons, and also because of political machinations, she is sent to the throne of the Girl King, who doesn't really have a name ever, does she? I think she's only ever referred to as
Don't ask
Girl King.
me, I don't remember any names.
So she's sent to the Girl King of Chuanbao, and she is kind of supposed to be a political foothold in the Empire's court, so to speak, without, you know, making it seem like this is supposed to be some sort of invasion. And on the way along, she starts doubting what made her the masked dragon hunter that she is. There were a lot of instances in reading this where I was like, I can 100% see where this is going, so there was not really any surprises here, but I will say that the lyrical writing, as well as the fact that it didn't really seem like it was supposed to be a surprise necessarily.
I just wanted to say, to be fair, I don't think this was the type of book where
you're supposed to gasp and be like, oh my god, I could never have seen this coming. Like, you see it coming. But I did very much like how the reveal was structured, especially for the characters it was supposed to be a reveal for. So I quite enjoyed this, and it is also sapphic. So,
another surprise. So the latest book I finished, which I actually just finished today, was The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. I do have the Illumicrate edition, which is very gorgeous and very pretty.
Yes.
And this is supposedly adult fantasy. Not gonna lie, to me it very much would have worked better as YA, but it also doesn't commit to being YA, so it's kind of in that in-between zone, I would say. There's a couple of scenes that I wouldn't necessarily say are the most suitable for YA.
Yeah.
And we follow our main character, Wei, who is like the daughter of a rice farmer, essentially. And there's been a famine in this empire for like decades at this point. And so as the second prince instead of the first prince is named heir to the empire, there's like a call for girls and women to present themselves as concubines and to possibly be chosen as concubines. And so she goes and does that in the hopes that she can become a concubine and then can send money, not money, food, back to her family.
Assistance, essentially.
And she ends up not just becoming a concubine, but getting the very coveted role of Empress in Waiting. So essentially main betrothed of the new crown prince, who is a cruel, cruel person who tortures her almost nightly or like every few nights. And so she hatches a plan of how to dispose of him. And this book essentially is us following her as she tries to find a way to dispose of him and also discover more about who the prince was and what made him who he was.
Yes.
I ended up giving this 3 stars simply because, you know, I didn't actively hate while I was reading it. Like, I wasn't bored throughout it. However, I had a few issues, less so with the writing style. I did think, especially for first-person narration, the writing was pretty solid. It wasn't like boring, it wasn't too simple for my liking. However, in terms of world and character building, this is what I would call a messy book. In that it didn't quite know, in my opinion, which direction to go and which thread to follow, which story thread to follow. And so it just like kind of tried to do everything, but did everything not that well. And so I also personally didn't feel like there was that much character development with our main character, which this is supposed to be a character-focused book, so I would wish, especially for a standalone, for there to like be more of a realization happening aside from, hey, the crown prince had a pretty tragic childhood. So yeah, I had a fun time while reading it. Wouldn't say this is a book that I necessarily recommend.
Yeah.
So
I'm in a similar vein. I gave it 2.75 stars, but that was also partially because I had a better time reading before it, whereas Sarah was kind of saved by this book, especially when it comes to Illumicrate.
Yeah, my recent Illumicrates were just not great. All of them I gave under 3 stars, I think.
So this rating is partially in like accord to what happened to the other books.
Yeah. To be fair, also, if I like actively, I'm someone, if I don't like actively consider DNFing a book, then I'm like, okay, you were at least a 3 stars.
You cleared the bar. You
Yeah.
are okay to go. Right, I have 2 more. These ones are actually my own. Hooray to everyone.
Also, I think because in my brain it's still that a 3 is like the middle bar,
Yeah, that's
when
fair.
actually
That's
it is
fair.
2.5 stars.
Yeah. You know what?
That's
That is
the
very
middle.
fair. That's very fair. I do also think that for me, 3 stars is like, this is perfectly mid.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is a mid book. We had a time.
Yeah.
That's Right, so the 2 that I read that are from my own physical TBR, which is good because that comes out of control. What is that? So the first one is the one that I actually picked up first when I was here because I was supposed to read this so I wouldn't ruin our buddy read. And that is Inamorata by Ava Reid. This is her newest publication. This is the first book in the House of Teeth duology. This was touted as Ava Reid's darkest book to and it was also...
I would say that.
And it fulfilled that.
Yeah.
So this is a fantasy gothic, and we mainly follow Agnes, who is one of the surviving members of the House of Teeth. The setting is kind of like vaguely, we're on an island, and on this island we have different noble houses, and also there is an influence coming from outside the island, the Seraphine, if I remember correctly, that's what they're called, who have established their own house of Berengar to kind of watch over the island, because the island used to be the source of zombies and undead and horrible creatures that...
Well, the noble houses on the island
well,
used
yeah,
to be
you
the
know,
source.
but I feel like we never really see a whole lot of people outside of the noble houses apart from those people living, like, outside the wall or something. So, you know. Anyway, the entire island got punished for that, is the point, because Berengar produced a hero who essentially quite literally cut down the houses to size, and so now we have the House of Berengar basically ruling over everyone else. You can imagine like a queeny, kingly house as opposed to a bunch of nobles.
I don't want to cut your summary short, but my file save thing has 10 more minutes on it.
All right, we're gonna try to be short. So, this is gory. It is brutal. I had a good amount of fun, honestly. I don't think this is coming close to my favorite Ava Reid book, which is still Juniper and Thorn.
Also, I will say the thing that was still missing from the summary is we follow Agnes as she then marries into the Berengar, well, her sister, cousin.
I consistently confuse them as sisters too. It's just like...
marries into the noble house.
Yes. I liked it. I had a good time with it. I thought there were some things that were a little bit strange and iffy, and I might do like a full video about this at some point, maybe, because I have been looking forward to this the entire time. But overall, if you like dark and gory stuff, yes. If you don't like dark and gory stuff, especially some very prevalent topics in gothic fiction, don't. Because this has all of it.
I will say, like, the two, like, biggest trigger warnings, I should say, are cannibalism of infants.
Yes.
And also necrophilia.
Yeah. And that's just 2 of a list of, like, at least 20.
Yeah, but these are, like, I would put them at the top of the list.
Ones, yeah. And then the last one I read was one that Sarah actually bought for me when she was in the UK, in London.
Oh, it was in Oxford.
In Oxford.
In Oxford,
and
not
that
in London.
Was The Haunted Library, which is from the British Library Tales of the Weird. It's like a collection where they publish a lot of weird tales that you can find in the British Library. This is my, I think, 3rd time interacting with this particular series, and this was all about haunted manuscripts and weird library places and shit going down everywhere, and I really enjoyed it. Like with all short story collections, there's some that hit more than others, and generally speaking, I wouldn't say I was scared reading them, because a lot of them have very common horror tropes that you see just about everywhere, but I still had a wonderful time with it, and as per usual, I just love the design.
Yeah.
It's stunning.
So, the last book we both finished, Sylla also started some books, was the book that we decided we would buddy read, which was Green and Deadly Things. And I don't know if you have noticed, but Sylla reads extremely massively faster than I do. Also, I have learned on the past 2 times that Sylla has been here, Sylla, when we read together, is a very vocal reader. So there's a lot of commentary. I am someone, if I am currently within the middle of the book, I do not like commentary from what happens in the future. So I forbid Sylla to start the book at the same time as I did. And I had her read Inamorata while I got a good chunk into this. It worked great, actually.
It did.
I finished it around the same time still. I think there was like a difference of 50 pages between us or something. This is Jen Lyon's newest standalone, and it's basically about this guy, Math, who wants to be like this magic knight, basically, but he can't, what's it called? Manifest, yeah, his magic sword, so that's a problem. And then also there's trees awakening.
Yes. It was great.
And those trees eat people, basically.
As they should.
They turn them into more trees, basically, essentially.
I mean, why not?
And so, Math is like, shit, we need to find a solution to that. And the solution might or might not be a millennia old necromantic woman.
Yeah, as you do.
As you do. It's very Chen Lyons. It's very humorously written. However, there are certain emotional like cores to it, especially math self-confidence issues.
Oof, yeah.
Hit a little close to home sometimes, not gonna lie. But it was great. I give it 4.25, 4.5 stars, somewhere along those lines.
I think so, and I was also like somewhere. I think I was smack dab at 4 stars.
Yeah.
I believe. So a really fun time. It is very fast paced, but honestly, I'm kind of used to this when it comes to Jen Lyons, and I think she does really well with.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot. It was very funny because it literally was just like they solved an issue. Well, less so solved an issue, they stumbled their way out of an issue, and the next one smacked them into the head, and it just like was, they could not catch a break. However, it worked because it did have like those emotional moments in between.
It's also very funny because both protagonists, or both main characters, are very active in their decisions. It just didn't matter because the narrative was like, yeah, no, actually you will have a different problem now, so go ahead and solve that problem while you're at it.
Also, this is the current buddy read in Queen's Witches and Valkyries.
Yes.
If you still want to join in April. And now, as for the 2 books that you're still currently reading.
Yes, so I am currently reading The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. I was
supposed to start my reread. I did not get around to that.
It's fine. I am 228 pages into it, and this is fantastic. I'm really glad that I'm finally getting around to reading it, because this is the exact type of political fantasy and also like expansive world building fantasy that I have been missing all my life.
It's like, I had the best I told you so moment, because I've been in Sylla's ear about reading this series since we have known each other, which is now 5 years.
She has.
And literally 14 pages into it, Sylla was like, I love this.
And it's also great because I am 228 pages into the first book, which is a bit more than a third. And so far, nothing and also a lot of things have happened. Like, the initial conflict between the Empire, nothing is solved. Absolutely nothing is solved. In fact, nothing has even begun yet. We haven't had any massive big battles. We haven't had any massive confrontations between characters. And yet, we've been brought very slowly into position, which makes sense because a massive empire is not going to move fast, even when there's an active thread somewhere lurking within it. It's great. Also, it's really funny.
It's amusing.
I wasn't even expecting it to be so funny, but I have laughed a lot reading this, and I'm so excited to get to the rest of the series. And the other one, I'm only about 10% into it, is another one of the British Library Tales of the Weird. Once again, courtesy of Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is Haunted Houses, 2 novels by Charlotte Riddle. I think they're Fairy Water, and what was the other one? I'm currently reading Fairy Water, and the second one is The Uninhabited House. Both of them are like aroundish 150 pages, so it's not super big. I'm super excited to get further into it. The narrator of the first story is very funny, because he thinks very highly of himself, except for the fact that his profession right now is dining out.
Amazing.
He's great. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so that was what we read. We're now gonna film a video of the books that we are still to read, that we have given the others TBR, basically.
Yes.
And so yeah, tell us in the comments down below if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts were on them. Also, has your reading in April gone as well as it has, obviously, for us? And yeah, I will leave all your things down below.
Thank you.
Obviously, and all the channels and all the book clubs and everything. Can you tell I don't know how to end these videos anymore? But anyway, we hope you had a good Easter, and we'll see you soon, I guess.